This podcast is aimed at the veteran community. It hopes to recreate a conversation taking place in any naffy anywhere in the world right now. We want to combat social isolation by letting veterans feel part of this conversation. If you're easily offended, please switch off now. And if you want to see more, please subscribe to this channel and be part of the community.
Hi, welcome. This is Veterans in Crisis Sunderland's second official podcast. Today we have Steve Bob Hope, who is a light infantryman but also a member of Veterans in Crisis. He's one of the clients, lovely bloke. Welcome, Bob.
Well, thanks, Joe. Infantryman, just like yourself.
Yeah. There's a lot of similarities apart from I'm a better footballer than you.
I'll have to check out. We'll have to check.
No, you're better than me, mate. I only lasted 10 minutes on the pitch, didn't I? I did have an excuse, it was a shit excuse, but I did have an excuse. Anyway, Bob, mate, I've invited you in for the podcast. Obviously, we tried a podcast the other day, a few technical problems, so I don't want you to feel like you have to speak about the same stuff that we spoke about the other day, whatever comes naturally, you know. If we start off probably with you joining up, so I'm assuming by your age it was like 1870 or something, was it?
No. You're nearly spot on now, Joe. No, it was, I think, around May 1972, 16-year-old Joe. I'll never forget, I've come from, my mum was a single parent,
right.
So we had an out. So I had this idea to go in the army and make a rich. I don't know where I got that from.
Good idea, mate. It's a good idea.
Or to get away so there's less mouth to feed.
Oh.
But I was 16-year-old, I'll never forget, she said, I packed your kit. I had a look, I had half a tube of toothpaste, need toothbrush, use your finger, she said, use your finger. Typical mum.
Didn't use nobody else's finger,
a towel like a postage stamp, and off I went with a little carrier bag, you know, and going on the train. All the other people were getting on with the suitcases. And
the nagging and that.
And I had absolutely no, and gets on the train, 16-year-old, to Shrewsbury, Sir John Moore Barracks.
Had you been on a train before? I'm not
No, serious. Everything was new to us. I don't think I'd been out to Sunderland, to be honest with you. Crimson Dane, maybe, in the caravan when I was younger.
Yeah, it's a holder, man.
It's a holder, isn't it? But I gets to Shrewsbury, and there's a funny story to it. You know, 16-year-old. And after 3 days, I've been there 3 days, and my mother phoned up. She phoned the guardroom up. She went, I haven't heard from my son. Who's your son, Mrs. Hope? Mr. Stephen Hope. He joined up about 3 days ago, and I've never heard from him. Checked through the paperwork and said, oh, sorry, Mrs. Hope. He's in the glass house. He's doing 3 days in there. My mum, what for? Because as soon as I walked through the gates, I seen a sergeant. I didn't know he was a sergeant. I shouted, "Hey, all right, mate!" And he's obviously turned round. All right, mate. Got the guard out and marched us in. I didn't know how to march. I had no uniform or out.
Well, you carry a bag and you half a tube of toothpaste.
And that was my first connection with the army. The glass house, the guard room.
It's mad you the man you are today, man.
Total.
So, 16-year-old, 1972.
Yeah.
Jesus, man, that's a long time ago, that. So, what's your sort of
number?
It starts off at 0, does it? It starts off at 0.
No, I was on the bus one inch. My number's 2429 6020.
That's not it. I thought it would have been further back.
Yeah.
Been a long time ago, hasn't it? So, obviously the glass house, your first sort of experience of army life. So when you got out there 3 days, you went into your platoon.
Yeah.
What were the rooms like then? Because
the rooms
the old barracks, wasn't it?
Oh, definitely. If I can remember rightly, it was 40 men to the room. 40 men.
40 men.
Yeah. 20 on one side, 20 on the other side. We were on
Didn't she shed toothpaste? Fucking hell.
No. I was looking for somebody's toothpaste. I didn't show anybody my toothpaste.
No, that's Kevin did, man.
It was
special
about
occasions.
20-year-old anyway. But No, on the landing, I was co-aimer platoon, and along the landing was I can't remember, some Trebrook platoon maybe,
Tobruk.
and they were like it was like school, just like in a school we hated each other, and there was loads of battles during the night and everything, and the most of the battles were we shared one washing machine, so there's 40 in our room, 40 in their room, one iron on board, a bumper which we got very used to, bumper in the floor, Joe, you had to see your face in it, unreal.
One bummer though, I know what happened there. You had to get the fat kid in the blanket and pull him around, didn't you?
We had to stand one of them had a better, pulling it around. But they were really, and see, they wanted to keep you as a soldier, boy soldiers. They were really like junior soldiers. They were really like mother, father to you type of thing, looking after you, learning how to shoot, march, iron your gear, basic. Everything was good, So when I went across the, I know I'm jumping a bit forward now, but when I went to training company, I got a big shock because they just clamped straight down regardless.
So, wait, because I was a junior leader,
yeah,
and I did all my training at junior leaders, and that was like, I think 48 weeks or something.
Yeah.
So you did junior soldier, and then you went into
training company.
So were you past a certain age to get in the training company, or did everybody go?
No, I think, I'm not sure which year.
Did everyone go with you?
Yeah, in dribs and drabs. I think
might be
there might have been a year's difference between me and some of the others. Some of them could have been 7. And I'm thinking it was 18-year-old, when you went in the training company. And they hated us, Joe. They hated us. Simple reason is, because you're getting a civilian joining, 18-year-old joining straight in a training company and getting the clamp straight down on you, They eat hard. And we were coming from junior soldiers who were already trained. And they hated us. They hated training us. We got a lot of abuse and stick and everything in training.
There's a lot of bullies in the army anyway, isn't there?
Oh.
I mean, especially when you're younger.
Total.
I found that myself. Like when you're 16-year-old, you're gone into a man's world. I mean, even if the training screw was 22, 23, he's just that's ages away from. In the manly terms, that's ages away from a 16-year-old kid. Like.
I thought I was a hard case for about an hour. It only lasted an hour. I was in the naffy. I'd injured myself in football in junior soldiers. And I was on crutches, went into the naffy, and there was a bugler there. And for some reason, we didn't like the buglers, We didn't think they were proper soldiers. Even though they'd done the same training and everything. So I'm sitting opposite a bugler, and I'm giving, bugler, hey, get off this table and that. And he's got my nickname Bobo. They're going, he's gone, Bob, shut it. I was like, give you a clip. I went, you give me a clip? Oh, yeah, aren't they? You're a bugler. You kind of bang. Knocked us out. That was it. That was my days of thinking how I could handle myself, And I kept quiet the rest of my service, And every
Did you get that bugle from me?
No, every time I seen him, I kept the other side of the square, Didn't like being involved with him. But junior soldiers was like a comfort zone from what I was used to. The hardships that come from a broken home, and gone in there 3 meals a day, and everything.
Did you have a big family, Bob?
Yeah, I got a big family, massive family.
You're from Hendon, aren't you?
Yeah,
East End.
Hendon, East End of Sunderland. I'm Hendon lad, but I spent all my time in the pubs down there. Not all the time.
Yeah,
a
lot of the time though. A lot of the time.
But all my mates are there. I ran football teams and everything from there.
Well, it gets a bad press, but I've always liked Hendon. Obviously, my sister.
Oh, yeah.
She lived in Hendon. I lived in the East End.
Got a lot of time for you, and just
it's a decent place. It's a community place, isn't it?
Yeah.
And that's what it is. And there's some wrong-uns, but there's wrong-uns everywhere you go, man.
Aye,
wrong-uns everywhere you go. So it doesn't matter what city you're from. There's always going to be some wrong-uns. So.
I mean, my family, I'm not going to say they were really bad, but they were rogues. It's because it's that road you take when you're young.
And if you've gotten out, if you're from a big family, you've gotten out, you've got to provide somehow, haven't you? I mean, you joined the army to get your riches.
Well,
that Hollywood, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, I'm getting back to the beginning of the the conversation. When I went in the army, the first thing I done, I can't even remember how much I got, but I sent my mum by postal order or whatever it is, £1.50 a week, and that 1972, and to me, it was brilliant because I wasn't taking off my mum, I was helping my mum, and I think there was a couple of reasons why I went in the army, to try to help her, but I didn't realise, Jared, I was only getting 50 pence a week or something.
It's,
Because in them days,
it's great that you remember that, though, isn't it?
they kept money back. I think it was called credits or something. They kept it back for when you go on leave, so you have money. But the story is, I used to go home, run out my pay money. Mama, you got any money? I have saved you £1.50. There's £1.50. Get yourself a few pints for that. Well, she was at top of my absolute brill.
So, was it a year in training company?
A year in training company.
So they were up to
the
73.
Story was, I was in Corunna platoon.
So was that?
And I had a man, I'd not mention his name, he was an absolutely giant of a man, absolutely hated him. I hated him anyway as a person, apart from what he'd done in, he used to, with a rifle butt in my face and, you know, stamp on you when you're skirmishing, and he actually told us to go and get his weights. I couldn't even lift them, and he wouldn't let us take the ends off. I was dragging them across the square with a rope, I was literally dragging them. And I hated him, and we got a week's leave, and I decided to take 2 weeks. So when I got back, I knew I'd get kicked out of that. I couldn't stand him. I absolutely detested him. And I ended up in Gibraltar platoon, which was rough. It was rough in there, but I didn't care because everybody got treated the same. I just singled us out, I think, because I was the smallest. Well, I was tall, but I was skinny as out. I say the bones through my skin when I went in.
I found that, I mean, it didn't particularly. There was a particular training school who was a bit of a knob, but there was certain training schools who did sort of single people out. And not particularly me, and they tortured them, like, you know.
That's the only time
didn't
I
like
had
them, and I know it's human nature, you didn't get out on the people, but fucking bullying's horrible, like. It's horrible to watch. Even if it's not happening to you, it's horrible to watch.
Yeah, well, the muzzle on the rifle, less or lot, he used to poke it in my sternum, just push it in there. 16-year-old, well, no, sorry. Yeah, this is training company now. So I'm 17, 18. But I was still like a bag of bones, you know, and he used to put the muzzle in his sternum and push it, and I tell you. And I wanted to cry, I wanted to cry, but I wouldn't. I wouldn't, I suppose that was like not giving him anymore.
The great thing about that is, though, karma gets people in the end, mate. And I'd imagine something horrible's happened to him, so...
It did, mate.
It did, great.
He got killed as a mercenary somewhere, I got told a long time ago, but... I must admit, I was pretty happy.
That's karma for you, mate. That's karma for you. You know, I think in life you've gone through things, and if that's obviously made a massive. I was going to say it's made a massive dent in you. It does. You know what I mean?
In your sternum.
In your sternum,
It was his fault. My main artery went.
Exactly. Get it claiming. Get it claiming. So obviously, we're up to 73.
Yeah.
Greatest year in Sunderland's history.
Yeah.
Never stopped talking about it since 1973.
Well,
we finally beat Leeds.
You know the day we beat Leeds?
Yeah.
I was in the glasshouse.
Did you do any graft ball?
No, what had happened, we'd been on leave, I came back and I tried to do the right thing. We came back on the Thursday, off leave, Sunderland were in the cup final on the Saturday, and I went to say to the commanding officer, can I have extra bit leave? He said, well, forward, my team's in the cup final. So on the way out, they knew I'd gone on the run if they said no, so they put us in the glasshouse till 5 o'clock when Sunderland had won the cup.
Well, at least you have a drink after, did you?
No, well, they were giving us cans in the garage.
So where were you then? 73 when that was on? Were you still in training company?
Still in training company. Yeah. I joined. I passed out. Not literally, but on the, you know, when you pass out from the thing, and I went to the 1st Battalion Light Infantry.
Same as me, mate.
Same as you, mate, and Chris Batty.
Yeah.
At Colchester. But the battalion weren't there, they were in Belize, and they only had a month to do, so we just stopped back there. And I was good that way, like, because I didn't go straight into the battalion and just get up with it, you know. I had time to ground myself in type of thing and meet the on rear party and whatever, you know.
The thing with that is, though, when they come back, you ultimately get tortured straight away, didn't you?
Well, when they came back, I only met them for 2 days and they went on leave. But we weren't allowed on leave, but they'd been away 6 months. So what I found out, and I don't know if you found it, there was a lot of people from Sunderland in our regiment. Didn't want to lie. Was it when you were in?
There was a few, but the majority when they were in 3LI. They went to 3LI. I went to 1LI just because they were posted in Omagh in Ireland. That's why I picked.
That's you wanted to.
I wanted to go. Well, that's why I joined the army, so I got Northern Ireland. So they were the one that was in. Now 1LI was sort of renowned for ironing the kit. You know what I mean? I've been like that, and I'm not like that. You know, that's the opposite of what I like.
Totally.
But just because they were in Ireland, I picked that, like, and I was lucky enough to go. I mean, things happen in your life, don't they? And like your life takes a different turn. Yeah. So at first, I got put in 2LI. When we were passed out, one of the persons who went to 1LI got back squatted. So I asked if I could have his place. And that's how it turned out, you know. So my whole path of my life. So
whatever battalion was in Ireland, you would have went to that one anyway. It wasn't like one because it's the first battalion.
Or even I didn't even know anybody. I mean, when I joined the army, when I got there, I remember people knew what an SLR was or what like corporals and that. I was just calling every fucking sergeant when I was walking about. So, like, I not only seen that on films, you know what I mean? I didn't realise. I didn't do any kind
of... And I was saying, I made it, and I didn't know who he was.
So from now I always wanted to join the army, but I don't know why I never sort of researched it. I don't know. I mean, I was a kid when I was 16 years old. I thought I seen the Iranian embassy.
Well, you weren't frightened out, Joe, were you? No. When you were trained and you got that rifle,
you wanted to do stuff, didn't you?
Yeah.
And then I was explaining to someone the other day, like the sort of the life of an infantryman is just constant training. So you want something to happen, because so you can use that training.
Yeah. Because the assault courses, 10-mile runs. It was constant because we had to be fit, didn't we?
And it was at the time. I remember. I mean, especially when I started drinking. I remember starting to hate fitness because you get up rough as out on the morning, having a day of run and stuff like that, you know. And
Joe, we're getting in at 7 o'clock in the morning in Hong Kong and going on a run a day. Unbelievable.
That was a strange. Your body, putting your body through that sort of stuff, you know what I mean? Drinking constantly, then going.
I know, but if you'd looked at my body, you could.
I'd rather not look at your body if it's alright for you, Bob.
And then when I was stripped, I was like a bag of bones. As I'll let you know later on when I went to Northern Ireland.
You're not going to take your fucking clothes off, are you?
No.
It's not one of them podcasts. It's not one of them podcasts.
No, you don't want to shock. I tend to try to keep my clothes on now, Joe.
Good.
I don't want people to say.
Oh, well, this has gone out on YouTube, so I don't want people starting to pay an extra.
Can I ask you one question,
Yeah,
Joe?
Of course, mate.
Do you know, like, my son's in, I'll not mention it, I'll not say what regiment or out, but I was saying, Stephen, is there much drugs in the regiment? He's not with them at the moment. He's on a post and he's lecturing. I went, much drugs in it? Dad, 70% of them's on drugs. I went, yeah. He went, no. And I was just thinking, Joe, when I was in, I never seen any drugs. Right. Did you?
I was. To be quite honest, I started smoking weed probably 19. Well, I tried it. I remember trying different kind of drugs in '88, which was like.
In the army.
So it was like the second summer of love, kind of ecstasy and acid and stuff like that. It was raves and stuff. So I started doing it then, and I liked that better than drinking because drinking loads of drink, I was normally sick.
Aye.
You know what I mean? But if I was off my nut, it was kind of like.
So was it ripe or was
it
just...
Yeah. Well, I mean, when we went to Berlin, that was sort of the height of the acid house thing, and so every weekend
everybody would be
every weekend. I mean, I'll tell you a story, like one about to run first thing in the morning. So I think it was probably 1990. I was in Berlin and I went to see the Happy Mondays. You know the Happy Mondays.
Yeah.
So I went to see them and I took an acid. Right, I took an acid trip, and then obviously I was up all night, and then we had a BFT on the morning. So started doing the BFT, and I was fucking running along, and I was getting paranoid about the people behind us in the BFT, right? So I ended up going at the back, running round back. Anyway, I passed by a couple of seconds, absolutely wiped out all this.
Well, if you hadn't had that, you could have done it easy.
So I was wiped out. Anyway, I remember just getting in, and I just lay on the ground, and then everyone fell in, and the sergeant major shouted, got them all fell in, and got them to march away. And all of a sudden, I don't know why. Do you know the film Dumbo?
Right.
They all turned into fucking Dumbo, right? The band on Dumbo, right? And I just started fit of giggles lying on the floor, and he was screaming at us, "You fucking better get up!" And I couldn't move. They were all marching away, man. It was crazy, like. And it was at that time I realised that it was either drugs or the army. So I got out.
Right. I've got a story I'll tell you.
Go on, mate. Fire
when I took bad,
all right, okay.
right, 12 years ago, I had a triple A, abdominal aortic aneurysm. Basically, you don't survive. It's 95% fatal. I'm not going to read through it here because it would be here all night. But Sunderland couldn't do anything with it.
Sunderland Hospital.
So they shut the tunnel down, and they got us halfway through the tunnel. I died. So obviously brought us back round, carried on to Freeman's, and I fought for my life for 6 months. Well, one of the stories in that 6 months, and I said everybody turned into Dumbo.
Oh, it was crazy.
Now, the nurses tell me, and everybody tells us most of the story, but this is what I seen when I was unconscious. I was unconscious 4 weeks. And when I was unconscious, I seen the first thing I seen in my mind was a duck with a 3-piece suit on, right, and a ball hat and a double-barreled shotgun in his hand, right?
I tell you what, I'm glad he wasn't chasing us on that fucking BFT.
And then there was another one. Now, even though I was unconscious, I could see the hospital, and I could see these ducks appearing from all over with 3-piece suits on, double-barreled shotguns, right, straight. And the nurse reckons I must have got that bad in my mind. I come out of unconsciousness, however, ripped the catheter out my cell, ripped all the wires out, jumped out the bed, running round the hospital, blood all over, shouting, "The ducks! The ducks! They're surrounding the hospital! Get the ducks!" And the nurses and doctors reckon they went on for half an hour. I was punching doors trying to get out because I was morphined up and everything. I seen these duck in 3-piece suits, so now every Christmas, anniversary or whatever, I've got 4 sons. I get T-shirts with ducks on.
I fucking thought you were going to say you were eating a duck to get your arm back.
No, I didn't like duck anywhere. No. But reality, like you said, you seen all them things. I seen ducks. And I was 100% convinced that 3-piece suits on board, like double-barrel shotguns, like Al Capone cars surrounding the hospital.
So I'm assuming that was all the drugs you were on, right?
All the drugs, man. Spent 6 months fighting for my life. I was in unfed for 2 years. I was in a wheelchair 6 years. Said I wouldn't walk again.
Jesus, man.
I got out the wheelchair.
How did that happen, like?
They don't know. At first I thought it could be inherited, but there's nothing in the family. It's a triple A is an abdominal aorta aneurysm. It's your main artery. It's 95% fatal as soon as it goes, so you have a 5% chance of living. And I remember I would have been a football coach, Joe. When I got out of the army, I became a football coach, and I was 50 years old when it happened, and I was the only reason I'm alive. I was fit. And it's funny. It's not funny, but I was fit, but I ended up fighting for my life, and there was no warning. I didn't feel bad. I wasn't overweight. I didn't smoke. I drank because I ran football teams and that. But it was just unreal. And if anybody listens to this and they're in a bad way, you can get out of it, because I've got out of something that I only had a 5% chance of living. But I've got people like yourself, the Vics, who's give us a new outlook on life and everything, with all the family. Well, it's a family. Yeah.
Obviously, that was what we're trying to create. It was the more the camaraderie. I knew myself, I suffered myself from some sort of social isolation. Not people think you cannot if you live with someone, but you can, you know.
Yeah.
And then I
totally agree.
I was drinking and smoking weed and stuff,
Yeah.
and that sort of kind of.
But Joe, didn't you see something really horrific in your time?
Yeah, I did. I mean, the funny story, mate. I got attacked off some dogs. You know what I mean? And I nearly died off that. I had to get 3 discs out my back. And the pain was horrendous.
So were you in a wheelchair for it?
I just never really left the house much. I
didn't have to be.
No, I couldn't move, and it was just horrendous. I've had back surgery. I've had, I think, 4 operations on my back. Been in and out of hospital, and it was shit. Well, I'm alright now, though, you know. There's a lot of people worse off than me. Like.
Oh, definitely. Joe.
But you know, when you're talking about the ducks carry on,
yeah.
Did you not like now when people see they see like a tunnel with lights and did you see out like that?
I mean, if you were telling me this, I wouldn't believe you. Because I was a non-believer at anything, right?
Well, you're not a fucking born-again Christian now, are you?
No, I'm not going to start preaching and things like that.
Right. But it's meant to be a comedy.
This is, I mean, this is that serious. I got contacted off an American TV company once they heard the story, because it was in the Sunderland Echo and that.
All right.
What had happened was...
is this when you
when
died?
I died
right.
in the tunnel. The consultant, Mr. Jones, who saved my life, he's pinpointed it then, because that's when it happened. But I'll tell you exactly what happened, Chair. And I was unconscious, and I opened my eyes, right? And when I collapsed, I was in agony, right? So I can remember that part, being in agony. Then when I've opened my eyes in this place where I know where it was now, it was get warm, and it was get calm and so relaxing, and it was like a light blue around us, right? And in the distance, I could see a building, right? So, you know, when you're focusing in and you're bringing that item towards you, I was bringing this building closer to us, and it kept shooting away, right? And I can remember going in my mind, where am I? What's happening here? And I could feel anxiety kicking in and everything. Then all of a sudden, I kept doing that, what seemed like ages. Keep bringing the building away. I kept shooting away. And I can get more angry with myself. Would somebody let us know where I am? I can remember these thoughts. And all of a sudden, one person walked in front of this building, looked at us, looked at us, and as I'm just focusing in, it was a woman on her, she turned away. Then there was 2 people walking in front of the building, looked at us, turned away. 3, 5, 10, 20. There was crowds of people there's people in Victorian dresses. I could see our hats on the gentlemen and everything. All they were doing, every one of them at the same time were looking at us, turning away. Just as I was focusing in, they were turning away. And I remember, there was nothing to bang on, but I could remember, like, kicking in, anxiety kicking in and everything, didn't know what was happening. But I was unconscious for 4 weeks, so when I came round, and I got to know Mr. Jones, who saved my life, and I told him the story. This is 2007, and he'd been a consultant for 45 years, vascular, and he said that's the 2nd or 3rd time he's heard it. He says, you know, when they're looking at you and turning away, Steve, and what he said, they're not accepting you. And he says, that's when you died in the tunnel. That's exactly what I seen, Joe. And I seen all kinds of dress. But I was trying to concentrate more on the face, more on the building at first, then more on the faces of these people, just thousands and thousands looking at us. And they just say, when they look at you and turn away, they're not accepting you. So...
It's a matter of how vivid that is for you, like, isn't it? Because I'm picturing it in my mind now, as you're telling us.
It was get warmer, get relaxing, but there was nothing around us. All I could see is if I was floating in midair, all I could see is this building. And this building, I was bringing it towards, and I was trying to put a shape to it, and have I seen you before? And when this person appeared from nowhere, this woman, and looked at us, give us time to just look at her, but as I was focusing in properly, turned away. And there was thousands and thousands, and Even they're standing up on my neck now as I'm telling you.
He's on mine, to be honest.
And with everything that happened, and like when unfortunately I came out of hospital, May 2008, my grandson died. So the papers were getting adrift of all this, you know, and the story on that. The story was in a few women's magazines about, you know, seeing everything up there.
Aye.
And I'm telling you now, Joe, and I can tell anybody who's listening here, there's something in there when you've gone, because I experienced it, and I was that close to them.
Fucking hell. At least it wasn't the Ducks.
I mean the Ducks. And
Don't imagine if you ended up in a world full of ducks, mate, and
do you know, they told us a funny story, you know, when I was in hospital, and do you know, the machine, the monitor's going, you know, when it goes flatline, you go.
Aye.
Well, my brother, Alfie, and a lot of my family was sitting, I was in critical ward, and they were listening to that, and all of a sudden I just sat up, in my bed, right, and just gone, like that, to the beat of the sound, and just lay back down. I was unconscious.
Wasn't the Blue Monkey days?
No, well, that's what they said. Honestly, that's what they said. So a lot of things, obviously, 6 months in hospital, I had a mate who come in with had a triple heart bypass. He came in the Monday, he was out the Friday. I was in 6 months, so that's the bad shape.
Yeah, they don't keep you in hospital that long.
Oh,
it's
no.
fucking too much money, really.
No, I had to come off the ward and into my arm ward. And they used to, at Newcastle Hospital, Freeman's, they had Steve Hope, the Mackham.
Did they?
And Kevin Keane had opened a unit there a long time ago, and he popped in to see how it was going on. 10 years on, he had nothing to do with Newcastle now, and he said, "Didn't come in."
Right.
And he went, "You're the Mackham," and I went, "I know who you are, Kevin Keane. I'm Sunderland through and through." He was laughing.
Do you think you were hallucinating again?
I was expecting the Ducks to come in and take them out, yeah. But
you were hoping more.
I wasn't hoping. But I managed to get out of the wheelchair. Then I heard about years, and I've never looked back. I tell you what, I know we've got this building for us to socialise in there, but Tuesday mornings is, and I'm not just me talking. I'm listening to the people who you're bringing in, you know, and they're saying the same thing, man.
Good, man. It's all about everyone getting together and starting to get a bit of camaraderie back in your life, you know.
It's them, yeah.
And what I've really enjoyed watching is not only is people enjoying Tuesdays, but you have made mates and now you do stuff other days.
100%.
You know, and that was my aim in the first place. I didn't really think it would happen as quick because, you know, veterans you require a lot, especially because what I've noticed is you're mates with people that are not like infantrymen. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
You know, I found that a little bit weird. I know, like you call yourself the dudes, and you're like.
Isn't it crazy though, Joe? I mean, so and so's 69, the other one's 60, I'm 63, and we're getting a buzz out, getting together, getting in there. So and so's convertible. And we're going about as if we're like teenagers, but we've got our veterans in t-shirts and veterans like caps on, you know.
See, it's brilliant to see, man. I've seen the photos, like it is really good. And the thing is, when all of you came, you were all totally different people. You know, anxiety, you know, and just it's great to watch, man. It's great to watch.
And the family's getting bigger, and I'm not just the dudes. That's just us as a group. There's everybody in there, like, have their own type of groups, didn't they?
We're getting a lot of Navy now, aren't we?
Oh, total. Total Navy.
We'll have to put a stop on that, won't we?
Well, you're the boss. You're the main man. You can just, like, crack that whip.
Crack them down on the Navy.
Getting quite a few women now, you know.
Well, that's a good thing, isn't
the
it?
toppers and all, and
it's good. I mean, the whole thing's turned out really well. Like.
The girl I was sitting next to today from the RAF, she went, "Steve, I was like isolated, like you said.
Right.
She'd lost her husband and everything, bless her. And she says, I just, Tuesday morning kind of come quick enough. And she went, what Jared and Chris and them Jared put into this is unbelievable.
I mean, she was alright though, did you? And that's what I like about this place, because I know everyone looks forward to Tuesdays, but this place, they can come any time they want, you know. You just knock on the door and come in. And I like when people come for breakfast before they go to the gym and come out and have a shower and wash their clothes, and you know what I mean? I
Can
mean,
you
I'm
have a
not much-
shower in here?
We are. There's,
Got any showers in Endon? You
aye,
know?
there's 3 shows in there, mate. 3 shows. One on each
Can I bring
floor.
up Endon?
Only for veterans, mate.
I
Only
know,
for
yeah.
veterans.
I
But
know.
going back to your army career.
Right,
So
yeah.
we've left that. Well, we went to Colchester. So you're about 18.
Yeah.
Where was your next posting?
I mean, I think if you'll understand, and most veterans understand, we would put on Spearhead Battalion for Northern Ireland. In other words, you only go into Northern Ireland Spearhead if there's trouble.
Oh.
And we were allowed to go around the town in our combat boots, combat trousers, civilian shirt. And I'd never forget, we were in a pub called The Standard in Colchester. And the guard came running in, he says, right, all 1st Battalion Light Infantry, you're off to Northern Ireland. The flew us there in Hercules. I'll never forget the sound of that Hercules, mate. God. And as soon as we got there, I can't remember if it was morning or afternoon or night or whatever, but we were put straight out onto the streets because there was riots galore. It was crazy. It was kicking off mad. I went to Armour. I shot a lot of car bombs. I jumped out the Land Rover one day and fell over the leg. I never seen the rest of the body, and that was my introduction to Northern Ireland, mate. And you've done your tour there.
It's a crazy thing. I mean, I think now, how old I am and stuff, obviously I spent probably around about 20 years fucking really resentful about the IRA, Jerry Adams, stuff like that. And then one day, I remember thinking to myself, you know, fucking Jerry Adams doesn't even know who I am. Why am I spending so much of my life pissed off about him, you know what I mean? And from that day, like, I'm a lot calmer, you know?
Yeah.
I was like a lunatic, basically, thinking all the time, wanting to deal them in and stuff like that.
Well,
and, you know,
what you seen in Ireland, I mean, I seen bad, but you were the lucky man yourself.
I was. Well, you know, like I say, I think it must be just getting older and a bit more mature or whatever. Whatever it is, I think being resentful is just snake good for you. It's a bit like drinking poison and expecting another person to die, really, isn't it?
I think you're right, it's about the edge. As you get older, Joe, because I'm more relaxed about everything than anything.
I think it's the best way to be, isn't it?
Excuse me. But a lot of my time now is spent with veterans in crisis. In the group and we do a lot of things.
You know, art tomorrow, mate.
Art tomorrow. I know it. I'm doing the lanterns. We're too technical doing the tank. We'll leave that to the other lads. But I saw Colchester. We came back off Northern Ireland, went on leave a short time, and I got the best portion any man can ever get. 2 years in Hong Kong, Joe.
Oh, nice, man.
And I've seen a lot of things.
Aye.
And I think I could
I was going to say, by that smile on your face, I think we better X-rated this bit.
But the worst one, our job there was to stop the legal immigrants coming in Hong Kong, Chinese. Oh, it's ironic now, they've got it now, but one of the... I told you this story on the last one, but there's a bit added to this, and it's honestly... When we went to Ireland called Shot the Cock, right? And I don't know how many it was. We had a platoon sergeant. And the hut was on, like there was 1,000 steps up to get to this hut where we were sleeping. So it was bad enough walking up and down it. And that night, the first night, we went to this restaurant and we would have whatever we had meat and chips or whatever it was and that. And the next day...
Meat and chips.
Yeah, I've got to tell you, there was something that... So we all get away. Sergeant Granger was the man at the time, and he says, right, we're going on patrol. You can wear bandanas, you can wear your shorts, your flip-flops, you've got your rifle and ammo and everything, you know. And patrol the beach looking for legal immigrants coming in from China, you know. But the first path we walked down was the back of that restaurant. And this is what I seen, Joe, through this. There was a Chinese woman squatting, chopping a dog up. There was an Alsatian hanging on the washing line, right? And there was another one that was dead. And the other one was like half dead, was squaring and it was being hung. So I know for a fact the night before we had German Shepherd and chips.
Oh, man.
I was absolute, we were like reaching, but we had a job today and we carried on with the patrol. And we got to this beach and you didn't want to say the name?
No, it's best not to name any names.
I did. Well, this lad from...
It's not Crime Stoppers.
No. It's we got onto this beach in Shattercock and there was this flotation bobbing up and down in the sea. And a lad from Hartlepool, my nickname was Bobo Up. I mean, I was in charge of the patrol. But he went, there's a body on the end of that. And there was Chinese people sunbathing. It was on a Sunday. All sunbathe families and that. And I thought, I'm going to have to check it out now. So I swam out, right? And I got hold of this flotation. I was pulling it. And it wouldn't move. And I knew then it was either stuck to something or there was something on the end. And the lads from the beach were going, and shared it. And, well, I'm under mental health for this. I went underwater and I come face to face. Literally, tip of my nose touched the tip of his nose with a dead body.
Right.
And you know, David Wilkie, the Olympic swimmer, I became him in 1 second. I was up, swam back to the beach.
I thought you were going to see it was him.
No. But I should have told you, I'm not a strong swimmer, so, but I ended up, and I had to recompose myself because all the Chinese were on the feet now.
Obviously not tatting the dog out, no?
No. There was 3 dogs about. They were all hanging up. And,
with chips.
oh, no. God, I had German Shepherd and chips, no doubt.
Oh,
They were all German Shepherds. But we went out, brought the body in. You had to go through, I mean, he had rigor mortis. We had to go through the thing here, checking the RP, because all the families were there, the Chinese. Put it on a stretcher, climbed up 1,000 steps to Sergeant Granger. He went, Bob, take it to the village police station. There's me, 18, 19 year old, with a body, walking about all over, walking through this village, right? All the shutters are shutting on, and even the dogs and cats were scarpering. They thought I was the catcher. That's what it was.
Right.
Gets to the village police station, and I remember saying to the policeman, he couldn't speak English, and I took the blanket off and I was going, body found in the water, and they were just going, we not want. So I had to walk all the way back through the village with it, up the 1,000 steps to Sergeant Granger. And I went, Sarge, they'll not take the body. He went, they'll what? So we walked all the way down the steps, right through the village again. Joe, pack it by now. I've just done the Olympic Games. Good job, I had the dog. It gave us strength, didn't it? And he took it to the village police station, opened the door, and just slid the body along the floor. But I ended up for about 10 months, gone to court and everything. The government were trying to...
All right. What, the Chinese government? Or
the Chinese Hong Kong government were like... there was loads of bodies being found. And
fuck yeah, I'm just looking at what that Soldier F t-shirt or might be Soldier Bob. The Chinese got to turn you up.
Cut that bit out. But 2 years in Hong Kong, so a lot of things grew up there. Absolutely grew up, Joe.
Party time?
Party time, 100%. We were warned about the girls, but it only lasted 2 weeks. Then we all went around where I think everybody caught something in the time. And you used to get on the bus on a Monday morning and you'd see all army wives on there they didn't have diseases, but they might have something wrong around that area, you know. We're all sitting on the bus
the area of Hong Kong.
And we all got took to this place there. And, I'll never forget the army major said to us, I'm not going to mention the word because I hate the word, but he says, Mr. Hope, you've got, well done, you've got first grade, whatever it was, right? And there's 14 days penicillin, keep off a beer. I went, Hong Kong, keep off a beer. So, but we had a great time. I mean, a lot of lads ended up in hospital because gone down the town of Wang Chai in Hong Kong. There was only 600 British soldiers, and you had the US Enterprise in. USS Enterprise, the biggest aircraft carrier in the world at the time, 9,000 Yanks, you had French, you had everybody. We were outnumbered left, right and centre. So the RSM in the end said nobody goes down the town unless there's groups of 10.
Aye.
We still got kicked all out. It still didn't work.
I hated that, saying that, right, I hated it. So, you went to Hong Kong and there's rules to go out. I understand you've got to have rules, right?
Yeah.
But, like, when I went to Berlin, so Berlin sort of then was like the major city in Europe, it was exciting.
Yeah,
But we
yeah.
couldn't get out after 10 o'clock. You know, like...
Oh, that's right.
And it was expensive, so you wanted to stay in the naffy so you could get pissed.
Yeah.
Cheap.
And once you got pissed, you wanted to be out, didn't
Exactly, but you couldn't get out, so then you're climbing over the fence to get out,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Then you get
End up
more
in trouble and-
Exactly.
and,
I mean, there, a bottle of Beck's, I fucking can't stand this stuff now, like, apart from the alcohol-free one, but
Yeah.
a bottle of Beck's was 10 pence.
Bloody
10 pence, man.
10 pence. Yeah.
You know, you're 18 year old and you're drinking like that.
I re-
Shots, 10 pence.
I remember the videos. The videos were coming out at the time, I think, it's 77 or something like that. We could get them for £1 in Hong Kong.
Aye.
Crazy, man. I don't know how much they were in England at the time, but
There'd be a lot of money, wouldn't there?
if I had any sense about this jar, I could have had all sorts, ferried them back and
Yeah,
sold
not with
them.
you with diseases, mate.
No, no.
I thought people realised you had no sense. So, 2 years in Hong Kong,
Yeah, in the jungle, in
Aye.
between
tax you to, what, 21?
21, 22,
20,
I think.
21.
I PVR'd, premature voluntary release. I've been to Ireland.
Literally, that'll be the disease, mate.
That's what I was worried about when I come home. I'd had enough. There was two things I wanted to be in my life, and that was a soldier and a football coach. And I was watching the football coaching in the army and that, and I thought, no, I wanted to really go for it. I came out and I became a football coach. George Hurd, who played for Sunderland, Scotland, he was one of my coaches who got us through it and everything. And I loved the coaching of it until aneurysm at 50. At 50, I was still playing in a team of 20-year-olds.
So, because we've jumped ahead a bit there, so you left 22?
79 or something like that. I went in a 72, come out 79.
So be about 21, 22.
So, yeah.
And then you went straight into football coach. Obviously, you're not going to make money out of
No,
football
you've
coaching,
seen the documentary.
I have, mate,
there'll
I
be
have. But not all the viewers have seen it, so why don't you tell that story?
Right. You come out of the army, Joe. I don't know if you felt the same. I came out and I thought I should be given the best jobs. I've just fought for my country.
That's what they tell you all the time, don't
Then
they?
no, yeah,
They'll be falling out to give you a job.
Yeah. So when you come out, I didn't know nothing about unemployment. I'd been in the army since just under 16. So I come out and I went to the job centre was then, whatever it is now and all, and I couldn't get a job. I never had the qualifications or anything. So eventually I did get a job. And they went, do you know where Coles Cranes is? I thought, wow, that's a big factory, that'd be good money and everything. I went, yeah. He says, well, we've got a temporary work on for 6 months, cleaning the roof. Well, cleaning the roof? He says, cleaning the bird shite off the roof. I went, do you know what, though? I wanted it. I needed a job. So I went from a corporal, lance corporal in the army to cleaning bird shit off Coles Cranes roof for 60 quid a week.
The funny thing about that is, for the people who are not in Sunderland, it's right next to the river. So there's millions of seagulls. So there'll be a lot of shit on that.
I used to hide in case anybody knew us, you know what I mean, when they were all gone to the canteen. Oh, there's so-and-so there, duck down. All the birds would be attacking us. And I had the birds attacking us, cleaning the birds. Oh, Joe, man. And, that's when I decided. I got loads of little jobs, labouring and things like that on building sites and everything. And I went, right, I'm going to be a football coach. And I went to Pallion Residence and became a coach.
Right.
It took us about 5 years. I was one step away from the FA coaching badge.
Aye.
But PRE went into liquidation, who was funding us, and it came round. But I carried on coaching until aneurysm at 50. So.
Well, that's a kind of 20 odd years, you know.
Aye.
20 odd years of doing something that you enjoy.
Oh, I loved it,
fucking
yeah.
good thing,
Absolutely loved it. I
good
ran
thing.
teams, I coached teams, I played for 40 years until this happened. But
Must have been knackered.
oh, no, it's not. I never stopped, you know. I never had a day off. Yeah, but do you know? As you get older, Joe, you didn't have regrets, and I
You
don't
shouldn't
know if
have.
you do.
You shouldn't have, mate. You shouldn't have
But I
regrets.
do regret getting out.
Do you?
Oh, yeah.
Aye.
And because I don't know if it's because since I've met yous,
Aye.
because I'm getting the
There's a lot
band
of
the back.
There's a lot of nostalgia though, isn't there?
Aye,
What I find is you forget the shit stuff.
Yeah.
And all you remember is the good stuff.
Oh, definitely.
You know what I mean?
Aye,
and I always
definitely.
remember when I was in Berlin, I hated the soldiering part of Berlin. I liked the nightlife and stuff.
Yeah.
But the soldiering part, I hated like polishing your stuff and it was
Oh,
just
it was never good enough,
No, it's
was it? When you polished your boots and ironed your
monotonous,
clothes.
you know, over and over again. So I hated it, and I always remember saying to myself, I'm always going to remember the really shit bits as well, because I remember people saying, "Oh, you'll only remember the good bits,"
Yeah.
but I've thought in my mind, I'm going to remember the shit bits. Like,
Well, I often wondered how I went through it, because when that corporal
you
was
fucking young,
was
that,
no,
you know
well, he
me
was
better, aye.
poking us in the sternum with a
Aye.
rifle thing, hitting us on the head with it, and bullying at the best. Then you couldn't retaliate. I mean, you might have seen a sergeant taking the stripes off the gun in the West Room with your fight, but he wouldn't. That's the type of bully he was. He just
Well, a good friend of mine, and you know him, obviously not name him, but when I used to come home and I used to say, "Oh, they've done that," and he used to say, "Well, just tell them to fuck off," didn't they? And I said, "Well, you can't do that 'cause you're in the army." And what? And he used to go, "Well, what would they say?" And I would say, "Well, you can't." And he went, "Well, you can."
like I said to sergeant, "Aye, mate."
Aye.
Yeah, mate.
But you know that lad, and that was his like sort of attitude, you know?
Yeah.
And that's why he's been in and out of jail all the time and
Aye,
stuff, you know.
yeah,
But like
aye.
you join the army, you expect to have to do what you're told, don't you?
Yeah, oh,
It doesn't
so-
matter how mental it is. You expect to be told to do stupid stuff like.
I think coming from a poverty-stricken background, I think that's what kept us there.
Aye.
I suppose if I had everything at home, and no disrespect, my mum, I love me mum. She brought photos up and she was absolutely awesome, you know. It's gone now, like, but she was brilliant. She gave us how to fight against
Aye,
bad
well.
times and whatever, you know. So I suppose getting three meals a day was good. It wasn't used
I
to
mean,
it.
but you know, and it's weird now because Sunderland's it's a decent place. I love Sunderland. Like I would never have a word said against it.
Oh, same me. I
But,
think we all the same, Joe, aren't we?
When I was a kid, the miners' strike and stuff like that, and like nobody had an out. You know, nobody had an out. Like,
And didn't you look after each other? Though?
You did, aye.
The neighbours and everybody. I know we sound like two old men here, like talking about that,
but
but
one old man and one middle-aged man.
aye. The oldest man's not here. You know what I'm on about.
Well, I what I take from that is the sense of community, right? So, starting Vicks, I wanted it for the community, and it's really
Well, you
took
come
off.
from that type
Aye,
of
and it's really took off. I had a choice. I could have made it a charity or a community interest company, and I did it community interest company because I wanted everyone to feel a part.
Yeah.
And something like a bloke said to us in a pub where I was drinking after the match, and he was an oldish bloke, and I didn't know him, and he come out and he was saying, "I want to like say thanks for what you do," and he wasn't even a veteran.
Yeah.
But what
That's
you do and
good.
all that,
That's
and
brilliant.
he goes, you know, you do realise you're the only person to bring the whole community together since the miners' strike. You know what I mean? And I thought then, Jesus,
yeah.
you know what I mean?
Totally right.
And
yeah.
and it seemed, I mean, good because everyone hated Thatcher, you know what I mean?
Aye,
So
aye.
if I could get all the same people, you know what I mean, that's great, like.
Yeah, I think what you've done, Veterans in Crisis, and I'll brag about it for the rest of my life, wherever I can, been absolutely awesome.
Really?
Like you said, I've got some great mates, absolutely brilliant mates. out there.
Well, it's been like, it's been a sort of mental kind of time for me, you know, because obviously I've got my own problems and I've got fucking stress about whatever, and I've got a family, and then I've got a job, and I work for the university, and then I set this up, and then this has sort of took off so big.
Yeah.
You know, and the pressure is quite...
shocked you, didn't it?
It is.
How quick it went.
See, people always say, I bet you didn't expect it to get that big. I did, but not as quick.
Not as quick.
And like this was my 5-year plan, but I'm up 18 months, and I'm at the end of my 5-year plan. So fuck knows what I'm gonna do next.
Yeah.
Right, we're gonna wrap it up, mate.
Oh, brilliant.
Thanks so much for coming in. Really enjoyed your crack.
No bother, Joe.
What I was thinking is, because obviously you're a Vic's client, me plan it with these sort of podcasts is to have clients back on.
Yeah.
So would you be interested to come back on? I'm sure you've got a few more stories.
I've got loads of stories, you know what I mean? But thanks very much, mate.
No problem at all,
I've
mate.
really enjoyed it. And even on air, I'd like to tell you thanks very much yourself.
Oh man, no, thanks very much. And seeing as you've said that, mate, I'll make sure I've got German Shepherd and chips next time. Alright.
I've never even thought of that story in the last years, you know, but come up in the conversation.
Right,
Oh,
nice
no,
one.
not eating anymore, Jeff.
No, well, no, delete any more dogs. Right, cheers, nice one, man.
Thank you,
See ya.
mate. Thanks.
Muslim